So it's time now for lunch. Let's get over to the kitchen and check in with ABC7 Culinary Director Judi Gallagher, find out what she's cooking today. Hi, Judi.
Hi, Scott. Well, I thought brunch for dinner. There's never a better time for me to eat breakfast food than at night. You know, I'm kind of like eat the cheesesteak or not cheesesteak in the morning, maybe half an apple. By the time I get around supper time, I really do crave a lot of breakfast items. So today we're going to make a butternut squash and sunchoke hash, also known as Jerusalem artichokes. I love the crunchiness of those. We're going to bring it together with some sauteed onions, a few potatoes to balance it out, and some diced peppers. And over here I bought on sale, I love when I can get a sirloin steak on sale. So I have a beautiful steak I'm pan searing. I'm going to pop that in the oven for about 10 minutes at the last part. Make sure it comes out a perfect medium rare. And then we'll put some fried eggs on top. So stay with me. I'm coming back with some delicious brunch for dinner.
Let's get back to the kitchen and check in again with Judi Gallagher, who's got a great lunch for us today.
Scott, I think you and John are working a little overtime and deserve it on this stormy day. So the steak is seared both sides. Again, I was really psyched to get it $9.99 a pound. That's a really good price. And one of those steaks is easily going to be enough for 4 people plus. And not everybody wants steak on top, so that's fine the way it is. Now I started in the pan. I hope you don't mind that I didn't wait for you, but I have some onions that I just gently browned, and then I added the sunchokes. Now the sunchokes they look really gnarly, almost like fresh ginger does. So you can see right there, but use the entire thing. So I just wash them off, and then I just slice them. So that's what we're doing right here. The key is you really want to layer that seasoning, so salt and pepper. And then I always put in a pinch of paprika and maybe a pinch of hot chili flake just to give it a little punch when it's coming up. Now that the steak's in the oven, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this saute for about 10 more minutes. Then what we're going to do is, oh, I almost forgot the mushrooms. Mushrooms are a great way if you're not going to be adding the steak, just to add that meatiness texture to a dish. So again, nice big chunks, real flavorful. If you need to, you can always just put a cover on this for about 5 minutes and let it brown. But we'll let that just kind of saute a bit, and I can see just a teeny bit more olive oil. Okay, so at this point, as it's all coming together, steak's getting ready, we have our eggs that we'll be adding to the pan once we move this out. You can go ahead and add spinach or baby kale or both. I mean, I add both. My son loves this dish. He'll eat it all day long. Just take some out of a bowl and eat it. And the best part is we're going to mix in some Parmesan cheese in a little while. So that is just going to bring this dish to a whole nother level. Whoop, get back in that pan there. Okay, so let's take a quick peek, see where our steak is at, and then we'll be ready to finish the hash. Now, just a reminder, when you're doing this, you just want to feel in, and oh yeah, I can tell that's done. It's just like this crease right here, okay? If it's nice and soft, that's the perfect rare to medium rare. It's going to continue to cook for a moment. So when you come back, let's drop the eggs in and get brunch for dinner going on.
Let's get back to the kitchen now and check in again with Culinary Director Judi Gallagher.
Hey, Scott. So our sunchoke and butternut squash hash looks amazing. We've browned up those sunchokes, a little bit of onion, some mushrooms gives it the meatiness that you will want, especially if you're not going to top it with another protein, but I am. It's steak day here at ABC. So some freshly grated Parmesan, and we'll just let that melt. During commercial break, I added a little red pepper, give it some nice flavor. Now let's crack a couple brown eggs and get that going. And you can do poached, you can do soft boiled, it's totally up to you. I find just adding a fried egg, and it's totally forgivable if you actually break the yolk when you're having hash. So I have some delicious cranberry walnut bread, and you're gonna want something really wonderful that's a little bit crusty to hold up. to all the different textures here. So we're gonna put that right in the plate there. And I have my steak. So let's take that sirloin and just line that up. Okay, so we'll make a layer of that. And then we'll take a peek on our eggs here. Now, one of the things I like to use a lot are different salts, Himalayan sea salts, some black salt, and then I have the smoked salt, Ladun salt, and that just gives us this amazing flavor. So let's just take an egg and give it a little flip. Like I said, we don't have to be as careful. We have so much going on in this plate, but the key is all about the flavor, right? We just want to make sure that we have this magical flavor going on. Okay, this egg looks to be just right, so there we go. All I have to do is touch up the plate and you will have a perfect brunch item. But wait, there's more. That's right, I have fresh organic tomatoes, red, orange, and yellow. And I'm gonna just put those in the corners because I don't want them to really get too hot in the hash, but they're just gonna be a really nice presentation on the dish. And it's something about tomatoes and eggs for me that always go together. So little olive oil to finish, a little more of that salt, and we're done. We'll be back for a taste in just a moment. And here we have it, a nice stormy day meal. Brunch for dinner. I have a Jerusalem artichoke, also known as sunchokes. It's a hash with a little bit of potato in there. You don't even have to add the potato. Some onions, some red pepper, some kale and spinach, some good smoked salt going on. Grilled up a sirloin, sliced it, and then put a fried egg on top, Parmesan cheese, and make sure you have some rustic crusty bread so you can rub in the yolks. If you want this recipe, just go on to mysuncoast.com, click on dining, and you'll be able to get the recipe, the video, and so much more. Please be safe out there, and I'm going to send it over to you guys.